The hardest thing about achieving FIRE may not be your paycheck, it may not be your savings rate, it may be your own mindset. If you're wired to be a high achiever who's chasing more, your mindset might be the single biggest thing holding you back from early financial freedom. I'm Matt with Free at 46. I'm just a guy here in Silicon Valley who achieved early freedom, sharing a little bit about my journey and my thoughts along the way. So one of the books that I read that helped me with this realization is called Die with Zero. And I don't know if you've heard of this book. If you haven't, highly recommend checking it out. But the premise of the book essentially is that we all only have one life. And for folks that are high achieving, who may have earned a lot in their careers, if you die with that money, it doesn't do any good. That's a symbol of life not lived. That's a symbol of dreams not realized. And when I read that, that was a pretty sobering realization for me. Looking at my career, what I've been able to achieve, and looking at how many years I had left, I really wanted to think about how I could shift to a more freedom-focused mindset. So I'm going to share a few of those shifts that I went through, as well as some tactical examples of what those look like, and hopefully they're helpful for you. So one of the shifts that I went through is from income maximization to time optimization. This was a huge one. So I think, like a lot of folks, you're just really focused on grinding for that promotion, getting that bigger role, bigger title, better company, all of those things. But what you don't realize is that you're spending your most valuable currency, which is time. And that's the only currency you can never earn more of. And so when I looked at where I was, I looked at how do I want to spend my time in my late 40s. And for me, it was, I want to be there for my kids' games. I want to be able to participate in their lives while they're still living with us. I want to be able to enjoy the best of what this time has to offer. And so it really makes you question, do you need that extra $20,000 salary? What are you giving up for that raise? What are you giving up for that bonus? And when you analyze that, like me, you might realize you're giving up a lot more than you think. So shifting to time optimization, how do we make the most of the time that we have, was a big shift for me. The second one was moving from consumption to intentional living. So this is a huge one. I think a lot of people struggle with this, especially when you're on an earning path. Really thinking about most people, they're like, how do I get the best iPhone? How do I get the best car? All of those things, more. And I've definitely found myself in this pattern as well. But then, you realize after a certain point that you're not buying things that you own. The things that you're buying own you. And that can take the form of maintenance. That can take the form of debt, certainly, and other costs. So figuring out how to cut those things out and prioritize experiences over things was a huge shift for me personally. So what does this look like? This could look like tactically, not trying to buy a bigger house, making the most of the house that you have, enjoying it, and using those funds to take travel, to do trips that are going to create a memory dividend in the future. So that's just another tactical shift that was very helpful for me. And then the last one, which is probably the hardest, one of the ones that I struggle with most recently, is shifting from external validation to internal compass. So what do I mean by that? I think specifically when you're working, you might be part of a big brand, you might be working for a great company, and with that comes, a lot of ego, comes a lot of pride usually, but those things are fickle and they can be taken away in a moment. And when you are without that, you start to wonder, what do you really want? And so moving away from being externally motivated to being more internally focused with your own internal compass, taking time to think through what that is and what you want that to be, was another powerful shift that I experienced as well. So one example again could be there, prioritizing funds that you have to focus on building skills rather than stuff. So for me, as part of my journey, I've taken up classical guitar again. That's something I would not have done when I was in the income maximization mode, but now I've got time for things like that. And that has been a huge freedom focused shift that's helped me a lot. So in summary, these are 3 mindset shifts that I've found helpful. I hope they're helpful for you. So again, these are moving from income maximization to time optimization, moving from consumption to intentional living, and then third, investing in skills over stuff. So these are just a few thoughts from my journey. I hope they're useful for you. Have a great day, everyone. Please like and subscribe. Thanks.